Start again. Hello everyone, welcome to the show The Focus Line. Today we are going to discuss the most crucial development happened in last 1 week, and we are going to discuss them from the men's perspective. So before starting our discussion, I have one small announcement. In Spardha Line we have launched a mission KARTHAVYAA for the PSI and ESI. So basically this is test series, and tomorrow we are going to conduct one free demo test. So on 31st August on 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. So for paper 1 and paper 2 we are going to conduct one free demo test. So those who wanted to attempt this one, the link is here in description section. You can register there and tomorrow come and attempt here in Spardha Line classroom. Okay, and also this batch is starting from the 6th September. So we are making available both the test series and the classes. So all details related to these two programs shared in Telegram, our Telegram group. You can see there and register now, and you can come in tomorrow attempt. So now we'll start our discussion actual discussion. So now before going to discussion, there is like last week only the Parliament concluded its session. So there were certain developments that happened last week, and the serious question raised on the productivity and also the efficiency of Parliament. So the issues related to it we are going to discuss. This particular article came which was talking about the efficiency of Parliament. So it is talking about nearly 537. So these are the matters raised in this session, this monsoon session, and only out of 537, only 61 got the notice. So these 61 matters that took for the discussion in Parliament, and out of this one, only 55 answered in Parliament. So this is the efficiency and productivity of our Parliament. We'll discuss what are the actual issues going on this one, and also there is the data like functioning time. So the Lok Sabha, which functioned only for 29%. So Lok Sabha, which functioned for only 29%, whereas Rajya Sabha is functioned for only 34%. So this is the efficiency of our Parliament, and why these are issues we are going to discuss, because if you see the attendance, the criminalization of politics, the representation of criminals into Parliament, and also the other issues related to the education background and other like women representation, if you see all the issue, then there is serious question. So we'll discuss briefly the what is the statistic when it comes to the parliamentary. So when it comes to the criminalization of politics, there is continuous rise in data. If you see from the last 4 Lok Sabhas, the present Lok Sabha, that is 18th Lok Sabha, which represent nearly 46% representative, that is member of parliament, are with the criminal background, or they have the serious criminal charge on them. So when compared to 17th Lok Sabha, it was around the 42%, and before that it was revolving around, before the 15th and 16th Lok Sabha, it was around the 30%, that is the average. But if you see the jump here, that is from 30% to 46%, that is a serious question that posed to our democracy, survival of democracy itself. And also when it comes to the attendance, so if you see the attendance, which previously used to be around 90 to 90%, 95%, Now, clearly there is drop. The last Lok Sabha, that 17th Lok Sabha, we have seen the lowest ever attendance, that is around 79%. So this is the member of parliament, they are attending the session. So 79% is which is the lowest one. So after that, when it comes to the women's representation, there is significant improvement, which previously it used to be till 2004. Since independence to 2004, it used to be around 5 to 6%, and now the present Lok Sabha, that is 18th Lok Sabha, it is gone to 14%. So this is the clear, there is a significant rise in women representation. And also, if you see the national average, that national average in the sense inclusion of the local parliament and the state legislature, then it goes to around 9%, and which is the very low compared to the South Africa, which has the 45%, and United Kingdom, which has around 40%. So compared to these countries, this is the very less women representation in the parliament. So these are the statistic that we concerning statistic when it comes to the parliamentary productivity. Again, when it comes to efficiency and the usefulness of parliament, if you see from the bill that refer to the committees, there is also significant drop. So before in 15th Lok Sabha, on 16th, 14th and 15th Lok Sabha, which used to be around 72%, it clearly dropped in 18th Lok Sabha, 17th Lok Sabha, that is the previous Lok Sabha, it came to 11%. So there is a significant drop when it comes to the bill that refer to the parliament. So these are the statistics which are very concerning. And why these are concerning, if you ask me, because of this issue. So if the parliament attendance is there, not there, the bills referred to the committees are dropping, then it will raise the question to the poorly drafted legislation. So why this issue will occur? Because in previous our focus line we have discussed about the income tax bill, which was the poorly drafted. So that particular bill, which given the deadline to file the income tax return, and that was the very rigid, like after the due date, the income tax paid, they cannot go and file the income tax returns. So that was the very rigid. So it is what is leading, it is leading to poorly drafted legislation. Second, it is leading to wastage of resources. How wastage of resources? If you see the data, if you want to run parliament for 1 minute, for this 1 minute, it cost around 2.25 lakh. So this much cost we bear to run parliament for 1 minute. And if there is like frequent disruption and there is boycott by the opposition or ruling party itself, so then there is waste of resources. Whatever we are spending on the parliament, this is going to be waste. Third is, it will leave the scope for the vested interest. Vested interest in the sense the business groups, the religious group, which have the significant influence on government. If the parliament is not properly functioning and parliamentary committees are not properly functioning, then it will leave the scope for these people with the vested interest or the group with vested interest. So whatever their will is there, that will be carried out. Again, there is the question on when the parliament is not functioning properly, then there would be legislative vacuum. And this legislative vacuum will lead to judicial activism. So there are many instances where judiciary came with the rules, the guidelines, and that's supposed to bring by the parliament or legislatures, but it is brought by the judiciary. judiciary through the judicial activism. If the legislation vacuum is there, then obviously it will lead to the judicial activism. And last most important, that is the people's faith. That we as a people, we consider the parliament as a temple of democracy, and that is getting disrupted. It is leaving the scope for to carry the vested interest, and the parliament is becoming battlefield for the opposition and ruling party. Then ultimately the people's faith that parliament is to solve our issues or solve our problem, now it is becoming the arena to create the issue or the problem for the people. So there is the clear change in the role of the parliament, and the people's faith on the parliament, it is eroding. So these are the major issues when it comes to the parliamentary functioning and the parliamentary productivity. If it is not properly functioning, then ultimately there are certain guidelines that given by the various committee and judiciary itself. So when it comes to the way forward, the major guidelines or suggestion given by the committees will see one by one. First is the National Committee for Review of Working of Constitution, which was constituted in 2002, which suggested the sitting of both houses need to be fixed. So, and also it is suggested Lok Sabha should sit for the 120 days and Raj Sabha for the 100 days. So this is the one important suggestion. Second, that from the convention on what is worked effectively in previous time, that we can see the office of Deputy Speaker that previously given to the opposition. So it is given to the opposition, then there will be scope for opposition, or there will be weightage for opposition word. So that will be, then again they will not go for the disruption. So this is the one measure can be taken. Also there would be panel of chairperson, that speaker and or the chairperson of the Raj Sabha have the power to nominate certain number of chairperson. So there is suggestion that 50% of these chairpersons should come from this opposition. So then again the opposition will have the say in the working of the parliament. And also when we see that we were seeing the data, that time we were saying there is a reduced bill reference to the parliamentary panels or parliamentary committees. So what you need to do, increase the reference to committee, and this will solve the two major issues. First is that poorly drafted legislation, because this committee have they can ask or bring the technical experts, or they can call for the experts in that particular area to consult, and the bills that drafted after the referring committee, that will be will have the less loopholes. So that one issue is will be sorted out. And second, it will increase the parliamentary accountability. So these are the some major way forward suggested for the proper functioning of parliament, and it doesn't matter what way forward we suggest. Ultimately it depends on the will of the people sitting there. So if we see the whatever the present the way the parliament is working, what the need is, that morality. The people sitting in parliament, they should understand that they are sitting for to solve the people's problem, and they are wasting their people's resources. Okay, so if they have learned about these two aspects and they have uphold the morality, then everything will be sorted out. Then these will be the secondary. So this is all about, you need to know about the parliament and the disruption. Second is the GST reform that we have seen in last few days. It is coming in news again and again, because the government has proposed this one 2 slabs instead of the 4 current one. So we'll discuss this the background in briefly, and then we'll discuss what is the actual suggestion. So when it comes to the GST, that goods and service tax, so this GST reform or GST regime is brought after recommendation of Vijay Kelkar committee. So this particular committee suggested or recommended the GST regime, and under this recommendation, previously in UPA second government, UPA 2 government, they introduced the one bill, but ultimately it is not passed by the both houses, so the bill lapsed due to dissolution. Then when the NDA first government came into power in 2014, that time they introduced bill in December 2014. This government introduced 122nd constitutional amendment bill, not an act. So this was the particular bill, and ultimately this bill came into force as a 101th Constitutional Amendment Act 2017. So this regime particularly brought the GST, and this also amended the constitution. And let me know in comment section which was the article that inserted through this particular act. Also, this bill is there certain characteristics are there. First is that it is destination based tax. So destination based means it will tax the person who is purchasing. Like I'm in from Karnataka, you are from the other state, like say from Maharashtra or the Tamil Nadu. If you are purchasing from me, then you will pay GST to your state government, that Tamil Nadu government or Maharashtra government. So this is why it is called destination based tax. And also it introduced 4 slabs. So first was the 5%, second was 12%, third was 18%, and fourth was the 28%. So now the government is proposing to keep this only 2 taxes and eliminate the other one. We'll see why they are bringing it. And third, the major picture act, it gave the compensation to states. This is important because this article that came today itself in news, the opposition state backed the GST rate cut but seek compensation for the losses. So that's why this also becomes important, the compensation. Because this under this act only, that time only government came with GST compensation to state act in 2017. So this particular act that gave the compensation to state, because previously the state government used to impose the VAT, that value added tax on the goods produced in their within the state, and this GST changed it. So they given the compensation which was based on the 14% year on year, and the base year was the 2014 and 15. So what they were based on this base year 2014 and 15, they calculated the compensation and they considered the 14% rise on that year ka state value added tax, and this given as the state to compensation. And this particular compensation given as a cess which was imposed in the demerit goods. Also let me know in comment section what is meaning of this demerit goods. So this was the brief idea what is the this particular GST regime and this context of this particular article. Now we'll see why this particular the reforms become crucial and what are the achievements that we achieved under the GST regime. When it comes to the achievements, first achievement is it is increased the indirect tax base. So nearly 1.52 crore businesses that came under the GST regime, and they formally started paying taxes to government. So this was the one major achievement. Second achievement, it is brought the integrated national tax regime. If you see the previously what in value added tax, that state government had different rate, but when it comes to GST, it has the one nation, one tax. So you buy any product in any state, you will have to pay same tax on that. So that's why it brought the integrated national tax regime. Third, the revenue. So the revenue that generated from the GST regime in financial year 2024 and 25, the average revenue generated, it was under nearly 1.84 lakh crore per month. So this was the biggest or the huge revenue generated, and the total revenue was around 22 point something lakh crore. So this is the revenue generated done under this GST regime. And other the important achievement is that digitization. It enforce the digitization process, because if you see the what is the provision, if you want to have the e-way bill or other invoice, or if you want to register, you need to go through this digital process. So it is also boosted our flagship initiative, that is Digital India. So these are the major achievements of the GST regime when it comes to the digitization. Also, it is very crucial to the ease of doing business because of the digitization process. So there is clearly defined the rates, okay, and also there is streamlined registration process. All these things are leading to the ease of doing business. So these are the major achievements. There are few more achievements. The context, we are looking in the context of the why the GST reforms become very crucial. So we'll see the what are the major issues that are there are n number of issues that it is also it is biased towards the unindustrialized nation, unindustrialized states. Okay, so industrialized states, they are losing their revenue. These are all the issue, but there are, when it comes to the GST related issue, there are two major issues. So the first issue is the tax structure. So just I have discussed, GST has currently it has the 5 slabs. First is a 5%, second is 12%, third is 18%, and fourth is a 28%. So, and if you see the data, the 65% of GST revenue, the 65% of revenue generated from this one, 80%. So whatever the product comes under 80% tax rate. So these contribute 65% of the revenue, and this is 12% as the less than 5%. So that's why these other multiple stack regimes are not very effective when it comes to the GST regime. And also now the government is, they are planning to keep only 2 slabs, that is the 5% and 18%. So that will have the major impact on the economy and also for the consumers also. We'll see it later. Second is the biggest issue is the revenue shortfall. Revenue shortfall is important because the just we have discussed it, under GST regime, this Indian government promised to give the compensation to states. So when you calculated that 14 based on 14% year-on-year income for the state, considering base year 2014 and 15, then it should generate 3 lakh crore every year. But when you come to, there is case study of 2021, where this compensation that the after imposing cess on demerit duties goods, the compensation that generated, it was only 65,000 crore. So remaining the 2,35,000, the 2,35,000, it was the loss for the state, and this is particularly for the industrialized states. So that's why the states are, many of the states which are industrialized, they are opposing this particular regime. So this is the other part. We will focus on this part just because the government has planned to keep this only 2 regimes now, that is 5% and this is 18%. So when you consider these 2 regimes, they will work in two favor. So first is this will solve the two issue. First is the rationalization of tax structure, and second, it will lead to ease of doing business and living. So why it will rationalization tax structure? Because it will keep only the 5% and 18%, these two test slabs. So whatever the other like this 12% and the 18%, that will be sent to these regimes. So whatever the 28% tax were imposed previously on certain demerit goods are also the luxurious item that we consider. So that will be kept under 18%. So now measure the 18% where the luxurious item considered like AC, air conditioning, the AC, fridge. Okay, so these items that are becoming very crucial for the middle class. And if they are coming, the tax rate are from 28%, it is becoming 28%, 18%. Then ultimately it will lead to ease of living, and also it is leading to it will lead to the affordability to middle class and also the other people. Also, the whatever the 12% tax were there, that will come under the 5% now. So whatever the small items like toothpaste, toothbrush, there also tax will be get reduced. So it ultimately it will benefit the MSMEs, who are the major producer, and these the many products produced by this MSME, this used to come under 12%. Now it will be charged 5%. So ultimately what will lead? It will lead to ease of doing business. So ultimately directly it will lead to the more revenue generation, and also other benefits they will get from the streamlined registration process. And also one more benefit that they will get, that is the relief from inverted duty structure. So what is inverted duty structure? If I am producing this particular pen, and the raw material that I will get from this to produce this particular pen, it is the raw material, it taxed at the 10%, and the pen, this particular pen, this is hypothetical example, it is taxed at 5%. So, and in under GST regime, you will get the these credits. So you're supposed to get the 5%, but you are ultimately selling it to 5%. So whatever the 5%, these 5 credits that you are accumulating, that you will not get back. So this it will be resolved, because ultimately this whatever the 12% was there, it was used to charge, it will come to 5%. So whatever the inverted structure ka problem was there, that will be resolved. And also it will lead to manufacturing capital streamlining. So they known the MSMEs and other the manufacturing sector industries are there, they no longer to depend on the credits to getting from the other companies. So that's why they will have their credit issue, and the benefits, the revenue they were generating from this particular GST regime, that they will get, and ultimately they will invest more. So other again there will be employment generation, also the more revenue to government. Also it will turn the informal economy to the formal economy. Because of this process, they used to just keep this particular part. So whatever this inverted duty structure, it was leading to black economy. So that will that issue also will be resolved. So this is all all that you need to know about the GST reforms. So we'll discuss it again when the issue they will settle, like what the government will come, like they will keep only 2 slabs, because many of the states they are suggesting they need 14%, one more slab, that is the 14%, and this 14% they will charge on these demerit goods. So we'll discuss again when the government will come with formal amendments, and also they will formally declare what the slabs they will keep. That time we'll discuss it again. So this is about the GST reform. Next article is about the India and China relations. Okay, so in last few days you would have seen there is change in geopolitics because of the Donald Trump's imposition of the tariffs on India and also the other countries. So what is the, we'll briefly see what is the change in geopolitics. If you see what was the previously happening, USA had the rivalry with the China, and this rivalry was because of the economical dominance, because USA was seeing the China as the challenger to their economic dominance. So they had the that unspoken Cold War between them. Also, same time, USA had conflict with Russia. So what are the relics of Cold War? The USA still carrying. So this was the USA, the Cold War and their ideological differences that still ongoing. So this was the undeclared Cold War going between US and Russia. And when the USA has declared undeclared war with China for the economic dominance, these two people start coming together. And so at the same time, this China had the dispute with India, and this dispute was for the territorial. This was the dispute in nature of territorial, like because of the Aksai Chin. That dispute is ongoing from the independence, 1962 actually. So this was the imperative for the US and China, US and India to align. For USA it was for the economic dominance, and for India it was the territorial, for the territorial dispute between China. At the same time, India had cordial relations with Russia, because Russia is all-weather partner of India, and also it is a reliable partner, not like USA. So this was making the geopolitical very complicated. And because of the India was aligning with USA to curb the China's aggressiveness, what China did, it started aligning with the Pakistan. So this was the one front was the forming China and Pakistan. Also, when the India started developing close relation with the USA, Russia also starting moving Pakistan. So there was this axis between Russia, China and Pakistan. So, but now if you see the current geopolitics, what happened now only, USA, it is imposed duty, reciprocal tariff on the China, and also they had imposed on India. So when it comes to economical front, there was the unspoken trade war started between India not declared any tariff on the reciprocal tariff on USA, but USA started this reciprocal, the tariff war between India and China. So at the same time, what is happening here, the China that is willing to conclude this territorial dispute, or are willing to align with India, and to show USA that we have many options, we are also collaborating with the China. We are also willing to end our dispute, and also we want to resume the trade talks and other, keeping the territorial dispute aside, we are trying to willing engage with China on other issues. So this is the going on. At same time, that USA that wants to conclude the all wars are going on. So that time it is also putting the Russia under tremendous pressure. And same time it is imposed a 25% ad valorem duty on the China, because India, because India is buying the cheap crude oil from the Russia, and because of that USA is the taxing additional 25% ad valorem duty. And what is it is leading now? Again, it is bringing the India and China, India and Russia close with each other, because of the India is continued buying the this crude oil, also the other like fertilizers, okay, other something energy resources are there, we are still keeping the buying from the Russia. So what is happening now, there is closeness between Russia, China and India. So the axis is less important, but we'll talk about this growing closeness between India and China. So we are already discussed in one of the session. I've discussed the all the developments happened between India and China from the independence, and also the when the Chinese Communist Party came into power. We have discussed all the territorial disputes and what are the issues that leading to territorial disputes. I have made detailed video on that. You can see the what are the historical development that happened between India and China. So now when it comes to this particular issue, so there are certain these two articles that came into news. They have raised the concern over this growing closeness. Some expert they are saying that these relations will no longer stay because of the issues that evergreen issues that going between India and China. So first is that the concern when it comes to the India and China. First is the unfinished disengagement talks. So we have not concluded on the territorial dispute, also the China's aggressiveness in western sector. So this is again unfinished. So now many of experts that they also come into opinion that China now we are growing. There is closeness between India and China because China willing to become close to the India. So it is not because of India leading the discussion, it is China leading discussion. So this is the one concern that raised. Second is that there is no buffer zone. There is no buffer zone between India and China, because still if you see the disengagement talks that concluded last year, still the India has to do control patrolling, and also the pastoral land that is not open for the local farmers. So there is no buffer zone, there is a restriction on patrolling, and also the when it comes to the agriculture in that certain area, it is also there are concern. So these are the issues. Also one more issue that we have discussed, that is hydropower, hydro or water bomb. So China is building the largest dam on Brahmaputra river in Tibet sector. So that is, and it is not also willing to share the hydrological data with India. So there is allegation on China that it will follow the water bombing. So it will release the water suddenly, that will cause the flood in the northeast region. So that is the one more concern when it comes to India and China relation. Also China is it has put some allegation that is weaponizing dependency. So how it is weaponizing dependency? If you see the last year, the China denied to give the critical minerals, also the specialized fertilizers to India. So, and India has the heavy dependence on China for these particular critical minerals, where China has rare earth material, particularly it has the 99% resources in the world. So China denied that, so it is weaponizing our dependency on China. So this is the major challenge. Also the one more major challenge we'll face, that was strategic loss, because the what is the US there is a relation between India and US is there. That is because of the personal ambitions of the Donald Trump. So next time when the Democrats or other people will come into power, that we cannot say that this continued strained relation or this strained relation will continue. So that time we again see the cohesive relation between the India and China, India and USA. So if you are pursuing the aggressive diplomacy against the USA, then we will get the strategic loss, because again the China ultimately known for its aggressiveness when it comes to the trade. Also we have huge trade deficit with China, and also we have the maritime and also the territorial dispute with China. So we have seen previously Chinese aggressive in maritime domain also, particularly in Sri Lanka. So if you try to go close to China, then there will be strategic loss for us. So this is particularly these two articles are talking. Next, one more important article that came in backdrop of the Prime Minister visit to the Japan. So this will discuss in very detailed manner. We'll discuss the historical developments also, what are the present challenges, and also what are the converging area. So when it comes to the now the briefly idea what they are doing, they are concluding pacts on the chips, defense, moon exploration during this meeting. So India and China planning to launch the Chandrayaan 5 to explore the lunar southern pole of the lunar. So this is the talks also there are technological convergence occurring between China and Japan, and also China is investing, it is promised to invest around the 10 trillion yen into Indian economy in next 5 years. So previously they promised to invest 5 trillion yen. So ultimately they have we have achieved that target, but now we are increasing target, we are keeping to 10 trillion yen. Also China is supporting the migrants that coming from the India. So yearly they will give the training to the 60,000 Indians on the various technological related to skills. So these are the what the brief idea what is currently going on. When they will conclude, they will come with the formal pact. That time we will discuss it again briefly. So when it comes to the Indian Japan relations, it starts from the ancient time, where in 6th century the Buddhism introduced into Japan. So that time the relation between Japan and India starts growing. So cut to the independence time, during this our freedom struggle in 1942, in 42 and till 45, Japan was the crucial to support India's independence through its support to the Indian National Army. Also it given the refugee and also the all military supplies to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So that time also we have the common enemy that we have seen, the Britisher. Japan also was fighting against the Allied forces. So that time we had the growing relation. And when the India got independence in 47 and Japan ended surrender in 45. So in 1951 there was one crucial development. So here there was one conference called San Francisco Conference, which formalized the surrender of Japan. Also there was a same treaty called San Francisco Treaty that is concluded in 1951, which imposed a limitation on Japan's sovereignty. And India particularly, India awarded to join this treaty and also sign this treaty to safeguard the Japan's sovereignty. And also this is the particular treaty that formalized the end of the World War II. So that's why this treaty is very crucial, and India, we rejected to sign, citing the sovereignty of the Japan. So in 1952, when the treaty concluded between the Japan and Allied forces, India was the first non-allied country, or the post San Francisco Treaty. India was the first country to sign diplomatic treaty with Japan. So India was the first country to support Japan after this conclusion of San Francisco Treaty, and this cordial relations grown for the next 2-3 decades till the 2000 year, where we it's somewhere in this time only we concluded the Pokhran test, and that time there was strained relation between India and Japan, and that was for very brief period. Under the pressure of USA, Japan being the ally of USA, it led to strained relation between India and Japan. So again, but in 2004 itself, we concluded the Global Partnership Treaty. So here again the Japan and India's relations started boosting. So till 2011 we concluded comprehensive economic partnership agreement with Japan in 2011, which supposed to take our trade to the 66 billion dollar. So that's why this treaty has become very crucial. And also when in 2014 we concluded strategic and special global treaty with Japan. So this is the where our comprehensive strategic partnership started building from 2014. Previously, the former Prime Minister of Japan also and former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Singh, they had the relation of teacher and student. So when the Prime Minister got assassinated, his close ally also wrote one article. It came in the Hindu. You can go and read it. So he also recognized the Dr. Singh as his teacher. So this is the brief idea of on the historical developments of between India and Japan. So when it comes to the present development, that is presently what the relations we have in Japan and India. First is the converging area, and we'll see the converging area where our interests are converging. So when it comes to the first is the on the strategic interest. When it comes to the strategic, we have the common enemy. We cannot say, but we are facing the common aggressive power, that is the China. Both have the border dispute with the China. So that is leading us to bringing collaboration, close collaboration to the Quad. So this particular grouping, which bringing the India and China closer due to the common nature of dispute. Also, India's open, free and inclusive Indo-Pacific, it aligns with Japan's interest, that Japan has the same maritime border with China. So India's this lobby for the open, free, inclusive Indo-Pacific also it is favoring the Japan. This is the one more development. Second is come to geopolitical. When it comes to geopolitical, we have the same kinds of demands or that we can say the ambitions, that is the getting seats in UNSC. So what is we call G4 bid? Let me know in comment section which countries comes into this G4 bid, that India and Japan supporting each other's claim into UNSC membership. So this is the one more when it comes to the political aspect. Also, when it comes to the political aspect, also we are proud both countries are supporting reforms in multilateral institutes. So these are the crucial developments. Political interests are converging on this area. Next, when it comes to the economical relations, there are several areas to have the converging relation. First is a trade, where we have nearly $22 billion ka trade, bilateral trade between two countries, and Japan is the India's 15th largest trade partner. And when it comes to the Japan, India is Japan's 18th largest trade partner. And also when it comes to the investments, India is the largest recipient of the Japan's development loans or development initiatives that Japan is doing in the other countries, that is development assistance. Okay, so India is the largest recipient. Also, when it comes to the investment in infrastructure, currently we know the India's first bullet train project, that is connecting the Mumbai and Ahmedabad, that is also supported by the Japan. So these are the crucial infrastructure investment belongs to from the Japan to India. Also, India and Japan in international level, they are collaborating in Asia Africa growth corridor. So this particular initiative that India and Japan launched to develop the Africa in a holistic way, all the aspects, be it the investment related, technology related, governance related, so and employment generation, agriculture. So these all the area the India and Japan collaborating to develop the Africa. So these are the economical interest when it comes to the Indian Japan. Also, one more important factor is development of Northeast region. So this particular development Northeast region, we have the Act East policy, and through this particular policy, this Japan becomes very crucial because already Japan has promised to invest in Northeast region through in its bamboo economy, skill development, and industrial growth. Also, apart from this, there is one more initiative, that is Lead IT. This initiative is between the India and Sweden, but Japan is also willing to invest in India through this initiative, that in green economy particularly. So these are all the economical interests that India and Japan currently we have the converging interest. Now when it comes to the cultural relations, also the technological relations, we have seen there are various development. First is the Buddhism is the one of the largest religion, where the 46% Japanese are following the Buddhist religion. So this bringing the India and Japan close when it comes to cultural ties. Also, if we see the converging relation between India and Japan, India has the largest population and Japan has the aging population. So there is serious deficit of labors in Japan, and through this largest population and demographic dividend, India can support the Japan here and replace its aging population, and the industrial growth of Japan can be continued. Second, India has the huge natural resource. When it comes to the Japan, it has the advanced technology and it lacks any crucial natural resources. Through this advanced technology, Japan can invest in India's natural resources and can help in exploring and the exploitation of these natural resources, so the both country will be getting benefited. Also, when it comes to the India's this particular skill development of the Indian population, we have seen the very low the Indian skill India report that says that only 4% Indians are formally skilled. When it comes to Japan, it has nearly 96% skilled population. So it has a well developed framework for the skill development programs, and through that it can invest into India's demographic dividend, so that both country can be benefited from all the aspects. So these are when it comes to cultural relation and technological relation. When it comes to technological relation, we have seen the ISRO and JAXA, that is the Japan's Space Exploration Agency. Both are converging on many aspects. Space exploration mission. One is the LUPEX. Second, recently yesterday only they have concluded Chandrayaan 5. So here also Japan will be partner with India. So this is the sign that our relations are going beyond the sky. So this is the one more initiative. Second, it comes to military. When it comes to military relations, we have the many bilateral military exercise that we know in the coming session, which is the bilateral exercise with the army, both the army, navy, and the air force. and which is the trilateral. So let me know all this exercise in comment section. So this is the all about the converging interest, but there are certain diverging interest. Also there are challenges to these relations. First relation when it comes to the Indian Japan, that is the major is the economical one only. So economical one, because just we were seeing the that common we have concluded comprehensive economic partnership agreement, where we have the potential trade between India and Japan, which is around $66 billion, and currently we have seen it is around $22 billion. So there is huge potential that is untapped. So this is the worst one economic challenges, and this is because of the standard procedure, the practices that practice in Japan, which is the not opening the Japanese market for the Indian that goods, the MSME goods or other the agriculture goods, that is due to its safety standards, the agriculture good has the less scope in Japanese market. So this is the one when it comes to economical challenges. Second is the when it comes to the technology related challenges. If you are aware about, there was an Osaka track which was a lobbying for the data globalization, and where we are promoting data localization. So Japan is actively supporting under Japan's leadership only this particular data globalization under the Osaka track concluded, and also we are supporting data localization. We are not willing to send our data outside the country. So there, when it comes to technology related, here our interest might diverse when it comes to India and Japan relation. Also when it comes to the geopolitics, when it comes to geopolitical relation, there is if you have seen the there is growing strained relation between India and USA, and also the USA is very close ally with Japan. It is one of the MANA plus 5. There is one where the USA military gives designation to other countries, NATO plus 5 ka designation, where it USA Army keeps its military stockpiles in this particular country. So through this we can say that they have very close relations, and due to economical confrontation, India and USA are setting apart. So that again the pose a challenge when Japan will decide between the India and USA. So that will be crucial geopolitical challenges. And also when it comes to strategic challenges, we have seen the past few years there is political instability. Their governments are changing frequently, so that might cause the change in interest. Also there is the rise of conservative party, nationalist party in Japan. So that also might put the Indian-Japan relation on the other level. So this is all about you need to know about Indian-Japan relations. Also when it comes to economical, due to India's bureaucratic hurdle and also the rate tapism, there is less potential when it comes to the investment coming from the Japan. That potential is not tapped yet. So these are all the issues we need to solve. So hope in future when the government come with a clear plan, that time they will come certain initiative which they will solve. So this is all about you need to know about India and Japan relations. We have discussed the 4 articles in detail. Whenever the again developments will happen, that time we'll again discuss. So if anybody has doubt, they can ask in comment section. So it seems nobody has doubt. So we'll conclude discussion. We'll meet in again Monday, where we'll discuss what will the topics comes on in Monday's newspaper. So we'll discuss it from the mains perspective. Thank you very much. Raju,